Obviously, I didn't tell him that everyone at school started drinking at the age of 14.
The Asian household is just so loud, bro. So you've got the BBC Asian network and Leica in the background. You've got the pressure cooker going off.
Indian parents don't have pearls of wisdom, they have an encyclopedia.
The reminding never stops.
I'm like that. Oh my god, can we just have a meal? Hello and welcome back to the Brown Playbook. Today we talk about an epidemic that's been plaguing the brown community generation on generation. Every day, did you know that there are over 10,000 incidents where a brown parent will say one thing and do the complete opposite thing, Shams?
Bro, it's more than 10,000. Every day it's way more than 10,000.
Yeah, for real, bro, honestly. What's your biggest experience of that?
Bro, there's so many.
Go on, give me
There's so
your
many.
top one.
Everyone has so many. I think the main one always happens. So the first thing that comes to mind is, one Christmas or even basically any family motive.
Yeah.
Obviously, we all know that there's like dad side, mum side,
Yeah.
and what like if you prefer your dad side, then your mum gets unhappy. Like everyone knows it. But like, I think the main thing is that when my mum says she wants to go somewhere and says, and me and my sister are like, do we have to go?
Yeah.
It's them ones where they go, nah, don't worry about it, like it's fine. We then obviously don't go to the motive. And then my mum's there, like, turns around after and goes...
Last minute as well, probably.
Either last minute, they hit you with are you sure you don't want to go? And then you're like, now you're older, you're like, oh yeah, I'll firm it because I know what's to come.
Yeah.
But then when you're younger, you just go, nah, you said, like, don't worry about it, so we're not going.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, they then come back, say how sick the motive was to make you feel like, oh my God, you should have been there. And then they'll be like, either on the night or a day later, be like, I really wanted you to come. And it's like, well, why did you just...
Or they'll hit you with your cousin was there.
Yeah.
You know, these people came and they were all asking about you.
Exactly. Oh my God, you really would have got along with him. He was into sport, like, you would have had such a good time. And then the thing is, so you and your sister don't go, and then you like confer between each other, like, did we make the right decision? I'm pretty sure she said like, we don't have to go. And then obviously your mum gets really upset, being like, I really want you to come. It's like, why didn't you just say that in the first place?
Yeah, for real.
So that's one time. But then the thing is, it's an Uno reverse, but it's when it's what to come after, bro. Like, then do they hold a grudge? If they do, then you feel like a dickhead because you have to go the next day and apologise. Obviously, because we know Asian mums, very dramatic.
Of course.
If you don't go and apologise, basically they're holding a grudge or it's a silent treatment, and you have to be the one to chat to them because in their opinion, even though they
were in the wrong,
clear
and you need to know what you did.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not a good enough making up process.
Exactly. And that happens time and time again. Like, this is just one family motive I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But I feel like we all just get sent because they never just say on the tin, okay, we want you to come. This is what we're doing. It's do you want us to come? Nah. Do you want us to come? Nah. Are you sure? Maybe. Just say it.
Don't you think you should come?
What about you? What stories do you have?
Oh, mate, my parents changed a lot after we moved here, right? So for context, we moved here in 2006. So obviously, and it's fair enough, they're very different people now to what they were then.
Yeah.
So a major thing for me was like alcohol growing up.
Yeah.
So we're Gujarati, and obviously it's a dry state, so they don't drink alcohol in the whole region. And it's like in their culture to think that it's like a bad thing. It's not just like something you can get addicted to. It's like morally bad. Yeah. So when we came here, they would be like judging everyone because the culture here is obviously such a big drinking culture. Yeah. Always on the session. So they want to like protect me around it. So they were very strict with how far away you have to stay with it. Obviously, I didn't tell them that everyone at school started drinking at the age of 14. But yeah, so like I'd be hiding all these things this whole time because I just know how badly they would have reacted then. I spent a bit of time like away from my family when I in my teens, right? Yeah. And when I came back, my dad was going pub every single week in the summer after cricket season. He started going on lads' holidays.
How does that like Uno reverse just happen? How did he get?
No, their justification for it is that you're the older sibling, so because you turned like 18 and you were fine, you're already setting a good example, so we don't need to worry anymore. So my sister, since she's been like 14, has been calm. You knew me at 14.
Yeah.
How much did I have to hide all the shit that was going on at school and like,
That's crazy.
alcohol was the main one. So that was the biggest Uno reverse they've pulled. Oh, great story here. One time when we came to your annual party,
Yeah.
my parents were coming that time and
Oh, this is so funny. Oh my god. This is the memory that stands out the most to me.
Exactly. This is the one you always refer to.
Actually.
But, so, for context, like obviously your family have like an event quite regularly at your place, and my parents came that one time, and there's like a time where like you meet everyone and you mingle a bit, and then it turns into like the party mode later down the line.
Yeah,
right?
it starts with the day party and then basically goes into the night.
Yeah, my parents aren't particularly party people, or they weren't then apparently. So then they go home, and as soon as they go home, I'm like, hand me 3 beers now. I need to catch up with everyone.
They literally ran to the bar and was like, my parents.
I've been here for 3 hours and I haven't had a drink because my mum and dad are here. And I wasn't like 18 then as well.
That's a piss take because now your dad's just like so calmly like,
Oh,
"Do you wanna have a
mate.
beer?" But the
He
amount
gets disappointed in me now. He does what your mum was doing. If I don't go to the cricket club after a Saturday match and I don't mingle and drink with everyone now.
Yeah,
I'm like, and when we go out for family dinners, they're like, oh, there's 2-for-1 cocktails. I'm like, oh, piss off. I'm never going to be used to that. I'm never going to.
The reason why it's peak is because obviously if you just go, oh, your dad was strict when he was when you didn't allow him to drink, but now he drinks, everyone's probably like, oh, that's a good thing. But people don't know the trials and tribulations we had to like sneak drink to make sure you used to stay at my house all the time after nights out to make sure they didn't know. And then you know what takes the piss is that obviously because you're older sibling, you see your younger sister just being like scot-free, like, oh yeah, this
Not
is
only
not.
that, she doesn't even make use of it. She don't even drink. And I'm just like, if I had this privilege, I swear to God. Well, I guess it goes to show, if they were chilled about it the whole time, maybe I wouldn't have been sneaking drink.
Yeah. It's the age old though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, man, yeah.
Like the age old joke of when everyone goes to uni, they get absolutely battered, and you can tell the Asian dons that their parents are the strictest. Because they just don't have they're the silliest freshers. Because they don't have a Scooby, mate. And then all the others who are like school who've been drinking since young, they're like, yeah, what are you doing, mate?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's so obvious.
I could have been one of those people at uni, to be fair. I mean, so another story.
Training.
Yeah. So till 18, I stuck to it a little bit. I mean, obviously I snuck it for like parties and stuff, but generally I didn't drink very often. But before uni, we had to do a bit of training to like...
For the sessions.
To know what to expect, because my uni had a 2-week freshers as well, which I did commit to fully as well. Come on. But yeah, so that was good. But I think because of that, and just because I was around the culture a bit, I didn't end up being one of those people. That was way too silly. I mean, I had sort of silly stories, but I could have been a lot worse if I didn't have like the exposure that I did, basically. Which is good.
Now, but the other one that's funny is obviously the one you told me recently when you went to a restaurant. That's like a new school thing. You know what I mean? That was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty standard for Gujaratis, or like, okay, half of Gujarat or more is like vegetarian, right?
Yeah.
Very, there's a reason all the stereotypes exist, right? They don't drink and they're vegetarian, right? They're very sort of strict with certain things, and they think it's a moral thing, not just a legal thing. And I get that. I get the argument for it, whatever. But I've grown up in the UK, and I was the only vegetarian in our year, so I didn't really care. People were having steak around me all the time. So my girl, she eats meat, and she's very proud of doing so as well. Like she's very much like, I love it. Why not? And I'm fine with that. But my parents, I found out the long way how they really feel
the
about
long way.
it.
The Asian
long way. The Asian way. Yeah, literally. So we're out for dinner and we're celebrating actually getting our first place.
Oh,
right?
come on.
Big
achievement in the UK. Huge achievement.
Thank you very much. But no, so we were celebrating that and we were really like happy, we were gassed for it, and we were just like, oh, what a good time in life. And it took a lot of hard work to get there.
Yeah.
So it was a real moment of like celebration, basically, an achievement for the family. We get there and I, as a joke, basically go, oh, Tan, don't worry, go for it. Go get whatever you want on the menu in front of my parents. Because as a joke, because whilst that might not be funny to everyone here, it's like a silly thing to say in a vegetarian family. And she looks at me a bit awkwardly like, oh, what, do you mean it? Like, because I will if I can. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, why not? Shreya's okay with it. I'm obviously okay with it. Mum and dad sit there smiling, nodding, encouraging her to.
Yeah.
All right, they go, no, beta, please, get what you want. Like, we're out for a meal. I want you to enjoy your food. They go over and above to do that, right? We all have the meal. I don't clock anything. I don't clock any bad vibes at all. I thought we had a great night.
Yeah.
Till we get home, and then a few hours pass.
It always unravels.
Yeah. Because it's just lingering in my mum's head that she got me in front of the family. I mean, like, is this what things are gonna be like from now on? And my dad's like, what was the need for it though? I was like, I think people that aren't vegetarian don't really think that way.
What was the need?
But she's coming into our family over time, right? I mean, what's gonna happen there? I'm like, Dad, oh my God, can we just have a meal? Can we just enjoy the meal? And where everyone's not like pretending to enjoy the food.
That's what we're trying to get onto. That they've obviously gone, yeah, it's calm. And then just hit you with the Uno reverse at home and gone like the way they drop the shoulder there, everyone thinks it's a good meal. And then you've just gone, then it's just Pete. Then the vibes are ruined, isn't it?
Literally. And then the memory's a bit like, just low. What? Now that night isn't the celebration dinner that I wanted it to be. Now it's that time when my mum pissed me off about fucking vegetarianism.
Well, there's so many like that, bro. Like, I can think, do you know what always stands out to me is like, back in the day when we had obviously GCSEs, A-levels, uni exams, bro, like the same thing used to happen. So for example, you study for like 8 hours a day, or whatever. You revise, you've done your day of revision. Yeah. I would come down, watch TV. You know your mum just peeks around the corner, being like, mate, why are you chilling? You've got exams. It's like, mate, I understand. I'm revising, I'm working hard. It's like
the books aren't gonna read themselves.
gives you that look of like, well, mate, like.
Do you know how expensive it is raising you?
Yeah, exams or nothing. Which I understand why we do well and education comes first. But it's the look they give you, like, well, like, why are you studying 24/7?
The audacity to take a break.
Oh mate, don't get me started about breaks, bro. Breaks is something else. So like, we've worked, like, you know when you're having a break and then your mum just like, you're like, oh mum, like, I'm quite burnt out, like I really need a break. Why don't you just do the dishwasher then? Mate, a dishwasher is not a break.
That's an activity that clears my head.
Why don't you put the clothes out to dry? So already you're like, allow, she doesn't, they don't get it. And then even worse, they'll do the old, when it is your break now, they'll do the, can you just do the dishwasher? And you're like, oh mum, allow, like I've just sat down for like 5 minutes. And then they go, either they may give you like 2 minutes. That's like an exaggeration, probably like a minute. And then they'll be like, you not done it? Oh, I'll do it then. Oh, you joke, man. Now you've just mugged me off because
it made me look lazy. Even though I would have done it. I was just finishing the thing I was doing, and then I would have got round to it. But speaking of the dishwasher, the thing that my mum, to this day, I guess it's not really a Uno reverse, but it's more just like the stubbornness where it comes from the same place. So when we moved here, obviously the grind was on, so like to save as much as we can. Mum's like, I'll do the dishes, it's calm. We don't need to keep it frugal, obviously, initially you got to, right?
Cost of
living skyrockets from India to here. Fair. She's not let that go to this day, right? I've had to go on the internet and like give her detailed like analysis of how much dishwashers cost. I've even proven to her that using the dishwasher saves more water than doing it in the sink.
Oh, no way.
And she doesn't do it.
Wow.
And like, she makes me feel guilty for like guilting her into doing the dishwasher. Seriously? To this day, it's just like wired in her. But no matter what happens, she's like, oh, if I can do it, why wouldn't I just do it? Because you don't have to. Do you know what I mean? You just don't know what life's like without the half an hour of having to do that.
Do you have any other like education or revisions? Well, there's so many, bro. Like they would like touch the surface, but.
I mean, with education and stuff, I mean, I was left alone a bit more because I was like older sibling, and it was like he'll figure it out because I always did. I don't have the same stories with you.
But where did you study? Were you a library man or studying?
No, in my room.
Bro, how did you get like? the Asian household is just so loud, bro. Like, I don't know how you did it.
Well, the thing is, my dad's been working from home for way longer than this has been a thing. So he's been working from home for like 8-9 years now.
That's true.
So I guess
he's a remote veteran.
Because he's got stuff to do at home. The house ended up being quiet anyway.
He's
so that
priority,
benefited from it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why. But I know for a fact that like if we were in a different situation where that wasn't happening, I know what it used to be like. I mean, my mum's making like idli where like the cooker's like going...
The pressure cooker.
The
pressure cooker. So you've got the BBC Asian Network and Leica in the background, shout out. And then you've got the...
Mum's got Star Plus on. Mum's got Star Plus on.
You've got the pressure cooker going off. And you got your mum shouting upstairs to your dad, just for some... He knows it's a long day, so he's like trying to avoid it. Yeah. And then you're like, how do I... It's like now, it's just like, how do I work here? Obviously, I'm going to go to the library. It's just so loud. And then, you know when you just say simple stuff like, do you mind shutting my door? And they're like, calm.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, they don't shut it. And then you know what the peak thing is? You know that when it comes to results day, they're waiting, if any results day or just a result or an outcome in general, they're waiting for the lectures to be like, why didn't you pattern it then? And it's like, this is probably one of the reasons.
And even if you do pattern it, then why didn't you pattern it as well as that guy?
Why don't we get into comparison then? Why don't we get into comparison? Because that's part of it.
Yeah, man.
Everyone has a cousin or a friend. You know what I don't get? It's like, I get it because we've all been through it. It's like, you know when say you open your results, you open your results, whether it's GCSE, A-levels, results day.
Yeah.
You open it, you're gassed, say it to your parents, for example, and then it's not like, whoa, wait, let me see what you got. It's, wait, let me bell everyone up, see what everyone else has got, because that's what you need to compare to. Then you're like, yeah. And then just
because they said A-star doesn't mean it's good in my head,
you know what, there's levels, because there's the overall result, and then when they dig deeper, they're like, you got to be in this, but man, not in this. Chat to me about that exam when you've done so well in the others. And it's like, nah, you're taking the piss.
It's never enough, bro.
It's never enough, man. It's never enough.
Well, it comes from a good place, I'm sure, somewhere, but it does take the fucking piss.
You know what? I do agree with the good case of like tough love. Like, tough love is, and they like the reason why most people probably do well is because their mum and dad to an extent are pushy. And obviously at the time when you see it when you're young, the way you see it when you're younger is like, oh my god, this is like allowed. But then actually it's pushy for a good reason.
Yeah, and it's weird because I'm sure that our parents or most parents when they're our age now
probably
had the same thing. And then they end up doing that because that's just the natural way to do it. And we'll probably do the same thing. But it's fine. Guess what the solution is? You vent about it with your best mate and it's fine.
True. No, but it's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to think that we just used to... Yeah, it's like results days now, it's just mad.
Do you see kids now get on like an app now?
Yeah, it's changed.
That'll be so different, isn't it?
No, but it's all different. Like ChatGPT, like there's way more resources you could use.
Yeah.
Now compared.
I think the kind of shit that I'll be saying to like my kid, whenever that happens, will be so different now. Do you know what I mean? Because you don't have to like learn the same way. Like education will be so different now. So I think our complaints, I guess, it will come from the same place, like we just said, but we'll be saying a lot of different stuff because of how fast everything's changing, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's the same. Like for example, I don't know if you ever had this, but that's a good point in terms of like your kid learning a different way to use.
Go on.
But we had that when we were younger. And did you ever have your parents try to teach you like maths or learn vocab, and they would want you to learn the way they got taught, and you're like, bro, allow it.
I don't think you know the story. Do you know the story of my 11 plus?
Nah.
So did you have a tutor and stuff?
I did.
So I had no tutor, right? So they just bought me a bunch of books. So the verbal reasoning, Bond, and a bunch of others as well.
Yeah.
But from like the age of 8 to 10, every day I just had to do that. And that's the only way I learned.
Fair.
And the one thing that like I still remember, my dad's not a very like stereotypically like angry guy. Like he's not that guy really. He's
your whole fam though is more passive though.
Our thing isn't, whenever this sort of thing happens that we've been talking about, it's not like loud and angry. It's more emotional whenever it gets bad.
Nah, mine's way more loud.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But I was saying, so I was learning that, and I just didn't get algebra for like when I was like 9.
Obviously.
So my dad was trying to like teach me it, and I remember the one and only time that he's like tried to teach me anything. Otherwise, it was all my mum that taught me it because she was a lot more patient. That was the only time where me and him like full on like shouted at each other, and I was literally like tearing up onto the page because I've never been shouted at for algebra or like ever really, because my parents didn't do that.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing. So it was in my 11 plus one. I was just doing all the preparation on my own. Just one time, my dad absolutely lost his head because I didn't know that 3x equals 9, which means x equals 3. I didn't clock it.
No, but do you have like, so that's back in the day, but do you like, obviously, a more recent example, did your parents ever teach you how to drive? Like 1 or 2 drives?
Oh, my dad can't. My dad's so scared, bro.
He's scared?
Oh, my dad, so he's such a control freak when it comes to driving. He'd been the only one that did it. And my mum was a nervous driver and he was a nervous teacher.
Oh,
so it was over. It was over.
Yeah.
So then one time, the first time I tried to drive my dad's like SUV, right? Because we've got 2, the bigger one. And that's more like precious to him.
Of
right?
course, yeah.
We were on he was parked on a hill, and I had to like reverse. As I let go of the clutch, I had to like take it back, and I didn't get it, so it went forward just a tiny bit.
Oh, and
my dad was like, "Whoa, stop now, get out the seat now, He just didn't let me take it.
Not even a one chance.
Nothing.
Just straight you.
But I'd already learned. I went to India and I learned how to drive for like 1,000 kilometers. Like I'd done a few road trips with my granddad.
Yeah.
He's way more patient, so he was fine. Or he's patient with me anyway. I don't think my dad would say the same thing.
Yeah.
But so I was just used to someone sat there who's kind of giving me a few pointers, but letting me get on with it mostly. And my dad, when it comes to driving, he just can't. He's way too scared of like anything going wrong.
Crazy.
But yeah, what happened with yours?
No, mine was okay.
Oh, was it?
I was just asking about your parents and that. I had I think maybe only 1 or 2. Oh, this is a funny one. So I had 1 or 2 with my parents, but it wasn't too bad because it was I literally did like 2 laps and then was like, I'm getting a driver and shut down. So I don't think they gave a shit too much. But what was funny is basically one time we went out with my mum basically, because she was like, oh, take your sister's car, go with her. We basically made an L plate. So we didn't get the official one. We just drew a red L, obviously like on a big piece of paper, stuck it on the back to show everyone I'm a learner. And then basically that drive was fine. I went out with my sister, came back. But then like 2 days later, my sister went and she just went in the whip, just thinking, oh, it's not that deep, it's like a 2-minute journey. And kept it on basically because I was going to drive a bit later. Obviously, now we know that it's illegal to drive with an L plate if it's just you. So she got pulled over, being like, one, why is there an L plate when there's only one person in the car? And 2, like, why is it not the proper one? And she was like, nah, that's not deep, I'll take it off now. And they were like, oh, that's fine. But we didn't know, but that's just like a standard Asian thing of like, we'll just do it ourselves. You know what I mean?
I guess we're used to like a little bit
resourceful.
Resourceful, and just generally like for my parents, like they think the UK is like so stush because there's a process for everything, right? Whereas in India it's a bit of a free for all. It's changing a bit now, but certainly when they grew up, like anything goes. So yeah, like that sort of thing. My family would fully do that. Like we'd fully just stick on an L. The only reason we wouldn't is if they're like a bit worried that we'll get like, if we're breaking the rules, but naturally like anything goes in it.
Speaking of driving, I've got the funniest story yet.
Go on.
Basically, my first time, so I passed my, I passed my practical first time.
Okay.
Even though I've got bare minors, I didn't get a major. Can't lie. But do you know what the funny thing is basically, when I was revising for, I think you have 2. You have your like multiple choice theory. This is ages ago, I'm throwing it back. And you have your like hazard perception. So the hazard perception one, I was calm, but because I had done like some practice. But the theory part, basically, I think when I first did my theory, I failed by like, I failed by like 1 or 2 marks. But do you know how I clocked I failed? Basically, when you're in sixth form and everyone's revising like DVLA, I had DVLA light. So I had some light app that wasn't the real thing. So I kept getting the rinse and repeat like 20 questions. You know when you get the proper one, it basically gives you...
I was like,
in my first one, I actually did unbelievable. Because I failed by like 1 mark. It's like, 53 out of 70 or something. I failed by like 1 mark and I was like, why haven't I seen these questions before? Everyone's like, this app patterns, this app pattern. I was like, nah, I'm not paying for no app. So so I've clocked it, and then obviously what comes is that the emotional blackmail from your parents. They're like, do you know how much money that cost you? And I was like, right, allow it. This was before COVID, so I've heard them bumped up. So I was like, saying less. Like, obviously got the app.
Yeah.
Passed both, obviously. Well, I passed practical anyway first time, so then passed theory the second time round. And obviously it was so simple because all the questions had come up in practice. But then I only clocked after that this is some light LITE and a little light.
It's not a good enough reason to be wasting 50 quid.
Nah. And that was actually my motivation going into that. Nah, this is peak. This is like 60 quid a test.
Oh, that's fair.
But there's so many times it's like, you know, when you break a glass at home or something. Either my mum goes, oh, that's good luck, that's good luck. Or she goes, do you know how much that's going to cost?
We don't have that.
do you know how much that's going to cost? Do you want to break any more? Do you have any paper there? They do not miss an opportunity for a lecture. It either goes one way or the other.
No, for real. I mean, with the emotional blackmail thing with my mum, right, she still reminds me of the worst thing I've ever said to her. Brace yourself. I said shut up to her one time. And yeah, she lost her head a bit. But in all fairness, it was on Mother's Day, which wasn't a good touch.
Right, come on. What was it for though? What was it for?
She was just nagging a little bit, and then I just had it up to there. There's a few things probably piled up. I was 13, hormones were flying, and I was just like, I just didn't want to hear that woman's voice on that day. And I forgot it was Mother's Day, so I just
went,
crazy. Shut up!
You not get a card or anything? That's crazy.
No, I'd done all that, but like, I did it before, and then I forgot that the day had arrived, because I'd already planned for it. You know what I mean?
Nah, I hear you.
And it was in the morning, so I just like shouted, shut up, because like she kept giving me instruction after instruction and like telling me things that I've done wrong again and again. I didn't want to hear it that day. And to this day, it's been like 12 years. To this day, she like reminds me of like that one time I said that. And yeah, no, but I told her like, that's pretty tame for the worst thing ever.
Although that's a great point, because the reminding never stops.
They're
always going to remember.
You made your bed with that.
Yeah. They're always going to remember. Yeah. There's always an opportunity for I told you so. Even if it's a light-hearted one, or it's an opportunity for a lecture. Like even the simple things. When you miss a train, why didn't you pack your bag then? Why didn't you do this? And sometimes you're just like, I'm stressed and loud, but they can't miss the
Indian parents don't have pearls of wisdom, they have an encyclopedia. Just ready to drop like a life lesson anytime you like set one for a
Who needs self-development, mate? Who needs self-development?
And it'll be contradictory as well, like something will happen where my dad will like give one piece of advice and give the complete opposite advice when like a different situation occurs with the same tone and conviction. My dad does that all the time, bro. All the time.
Nah, because this is the last thing. But my mum will, for example, they'll hear something from someone and just run with the opinion without doing no research. My mum
does that so
nothing.
much.
And then they stick the opinion on you, and you hit back. You basically rebuttal being like, oh, so
are you sure? Like, you critique it one way.
What's the evidence? Okay, fine, but tell me the evidence. Where do you get this from? And they're like,
this younger generation, more evidence nonsense.
But no, do it. And you're like, this is absolutely awful. But anyways, we'll leave it there.
That's a good point to end it. Yeah, if your parents have ever Uno reversed you, give this video a like, sub, and comment.
Yeah, drop yours in the comments.
Yeah, exactly.
What situations you've been. But thank you so much, guys. Cheers.
In a bit.